What are you doing today? I'm doing well, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mario, and this particular instance, it occurred about a half a month ago, or a month ago to be exact. I was invited to a family function, and to my surprise, I had encountered family members within my own family that I never met before that had a disability. The disability was hard of hearing as well as a speech impairment. I had never encountered individuals with this type of disability, let alone be able to communicate with them properly. I wasn't in need to know how to communicate with them for the simple fact that I wasn't with them on a daily basis or never encountered somebody with those disabilities for longer than 10 or 15 minutes to communicate with them. So with that said, this instant put me in a situation where I felt really uncomfortable, just for the simple fact that I was uneducated in regards to the situation or how to communicate with them, and as well as not being in control of the situation. Being not in control of the situation makes anybody feel uncomfortable. So with that said, how many of you guys know what ASL is? So about 3 of you guys. So the ASL is a language put together for individuals with speaking impairments as well as the disability with hard of hearing. You guys would be astounded to know that within the United States of America, at this current time, there's about 30 million individuals who are considered hard of hearing or as well as with speech impairment. That number has drastically risen over 22 million from 1991. 1991 was the last poll conducted by the most recent was 2011, but before that, previous to that, the Center for Disease and Control estimated that in 1991 there's 8 million people with that disability. So with that said, I'm gonna ask you guys another question. How many of you guys are looking to transfer over to a UC system in the field of child development or the nursing field? See, that's one. There's about 4 individuals that this might motivate to go out and learn the ASL language, and for the other individuals that aren't included in that, I would recommend you just learning how to use the ASL language, just for the simple fact you're someday going to encounter your family members, elderly family members that are either going to inquire this disability, or just not to feel in a situation where you're not in control and you're not able to speak or communicate with somebody properly. So with that said, I'm going to demonstrate to you today, first of all, how to use the ASL language properly, the proper etiquette, as well as body posture, facial expressions, hand gestures, and basic hand gestures and communication signs that would be able to help you guys communicate with the individual who either has hard of hearing or has some sort of speaking impairment. So with that said, the major thing about communicating with the individual with the speaking impairment or a disability is that he has to be able to understand that you're communicating with him. So that individual has to look you in the face, make sure that he understands that all the body motion that you're motioning to is directed to that person. So you always want to be parallel to the person that you're speaking with. That's going to be the first step. The second step is going to be your hand gestures. Your hand gestures always have to be high, so they always have to be above your torso. So anywhere around your chest area is a good basic posture. And the most important when communicating with the deaf or hard of hearing individual is going to be your facial expressions. Your facial expressions are going to be the most important, just for the simple fact that that individual with the disability has to understand that you're communicating with him. You have to understand as well that he lacks the ability to sense hearing, so his face is going to make up for everything else that he lacks. So with that said, that's the first basic thing when communicating with the individual with that disability. So I'm going to show you some basic signs to be able to communicate with the individual. Say you encounter somebody you guys are at a restaurant or I used to work at an elderly facility, so that's how I encountered elderly people, but never learned the ASL language. But so first, to say hello, it's gonna be basic. It's gonna be like a salute. So you make sure that your body posture is directly at them. Your elbow, your hand's gonna be flat, and you're gonna wave like that, and make sure your head's out. That's a simple hello. How to say goodbye. This is gonna be a simple hand gesture. And to say see you later, this is gonna be see you, and this is later. So that's basic. Say you want an individual comes up to you and he needs to go to the restroom. You don't understand what he's saying. You just see hand motions. So if an individual is looking for the toilet, the first thing he's gonna do is wag his finger, try to get your attention. He's gonna show you the sign T. It's gonna mean toilet. Where's the toilet? So that would be the first sign. Wag finger with the T. He's gonna want to know where's the toilet at. So you could easily direct him north, east, west, wherever it is that the toilet is at. The next gesture that I'm gonna show you is gonna be how to say please. Please is gonna be your hand flat over your heart. You can cover it, wave like that. That's gonna be please. And then to say sorry, same gesture, hand fist closed. You're also gonna rub your heart as well. It's gonna say I'm sorry. Next, I'm gonna demonstrate how to say yes and no. Yes is fairly easy. It's gonna be a knock on the door. Pretend you're knocking on somebody's door, they don't want to open, you're saying yes. And you say no, it's gonna be simply, you pinch your fingers, no. The next gesture I'm gonna demonstrate to you is going to be, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? It's gonna be, you're gonna use all your body motion this time. You're gonna be perpendicular. You're gonna be parallel to the individual that you're communicating with. I don't know how many of you have seen The Wheel of Fortune. It's gonna be sort of like Vanna White. You're gonna say, "How are you?" And then the last, let me see the last couple of things I'm gonna show you is when somebody asks you how are you, you can either respond with the thumb directly into your chest, and that's gonna be fine, or you could two hands out, face down, and with the sad expression, you're gonna be sad. So the individual with the disability is gonna understand what you're actually sensing or are feeling at the time. Facial expression is gonna be the most important, like I said, just because of the simple fact that that individual lacks the ability to not only hear you, but hear you, so everything else is gonna be blown up or increased to the individual. So one thing that you have to really understand when dealing with this community is that your facial expressions are gonna be the most important. Once your eyebrows are risen, it's gonna be stating to the individual with the disability that he's asking a question. So right away when somebody's eyebrows are raised, it means they're unsure of the situation, or they need you to redefine whatever it is that you're describing to them. So with that said, today I have explained to you the basic benefits of learning the ASL language, which include the school board accreditation, that the California State Board accredits the ASL language for you to transfer out to a Cal State system with the accreditation of the ASL language for either nursing or child development. Second, I hope that I explained to you how to properly use the ASL language, so that anytime you encounter a situation where you feel that you're not knowledgeable of what it is that the individual is saying, that you don't end up like me, not feeling comfortable being able to control the situation as well as knowledgeable of the situation. And third, I hope that you guys learned something and I persuaded you guys to at least learn the basic motions of the ASL language. That's my presentation. Thank you very much.